Get the Boston Trucker with you. It's Monday morning. Let's get this week started. Cue that music, yeah. The Boston Trucker here. Welcome to my channel. I hope you enjoy it. Load of mixed out and come back with a load of processed gravel. I'm yielding. I'm really good at yielding, by the way. It's one of my better skills. A lot of people don't know how to yield very well. A lot of truck drivers don't. A lot of self-entitlement. I'm really good at it. Like literally, you should just follow me around all day and take notes of how well I yield. It's not a hard thing to do, but you gotta be paying attention. Looking behind, looking ahead, timing your speed. It's all about timing your speed. Getting into the traffic, getting up to speed. It's not a difficult process. I don't think they teach that in driving school though. Wow. Didn't learn how to yield, that's for sure, but you get up to speed. Truck. It is. Wow. I've seen that in a long time. That's my GoPro Max. It's my outdoor camera. It can stand the cold, but I think this time of year I'm gonna keep it inside, playing around with it, see how the angles look. I had it mounted there last winter. It was pretty good. I'm gonna dump out. I gotta climb up on this pile here though. Backed up a little too close. We use 2 slurry locks here at Cardillo & Sons. Those are the rules, and I abide by them. Drop the airbags, open the door. Let's dump her out. All right, we had a great truck show at the Big Apple Farm. Had a great time. Hopefully you watched that video. I'm still editing it right now, but I think it's gonna be a good one. Hopefully you watched my interview with Peter Noonan of JP Noonan a couple weeks ago. Go back and watch my old videos. I got I think some interesting stuff. I only make videos that I would want to watch, so. Getting loaded with some processed gravel. We're gonna head back to the materials yard. We'll do that 3 more times. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Have this thing parked by 3:30. That's the plan. Let's go. I love my Ford Flex, but I always wonder, what would I get for my next car? And I see this guy on the road every once in a while. I like this Bronco with the white steel rims. How cool does that look? I like that. It's different for sure. morning it takes me about 35 to 40 minutes to go from the materials yard out to the gravel pit. Then I turn around and I go back. Same drive. It takes me an hour, hour and 10 because we're heading east till it's Boston, so it's rush hour. It's moving pretty good right now, but I'm gonna catch heavy traffic when I get over here by Concord. Maybe before that. That's how it is. But sun is very bright this morning. You know, when I ordered this truck with the Seattle package, I sacrificed having sun visors. I love sun visors. Flip them down, put them on the side. I don't have them. So when I drive into the sun in the morning, I do have to pay the price. If I have a baseball hat, it's not too bad. I can just tilt it up or hold it like this, you know. But I guess it's the price of being cool. I don't know how cool it is, but I do wish I had sun visors. I gotta be honest. Maybe I should have got sun visors and not had them put the beads up here. But it looks good. I don't drive around looking at it all day though. It is one of the, I've said this before, somebody said it to me. Somebody said they think this might be the only Kenworth day cab with a Seattle package, but I don't believe that. But maybe. And probably as people have ordered it since they've seen me do it. Maybe, I don't know. I can't imagine I'm the only one, but. Man, somebody reach up there and dim that light. It's blinded me. Come on. Always a damn four-wheeler right in the way. It's not tight enough getting out of there. JP Noonan handles it like a professional. This idiot. It's on the phone. Hello, Domino's. It's like Paul Noonan was telling me at the Big Apple Farm. He didn't see me interview him. JP Noonan drivers, they drive gentle. Like they got precious cargo on, which they do. And that's the one company where you don't see the drivers driving like a bunch of knuckleheads, driving too fast. They drive nice and gentle. They drive like gentlemen. That's how I drive, and I can appreciate that. Thank you everyone for the happy anniversary messages. Yesterday was my 22nd anniversary and I was at a truck show, but it's all good. I got a good marriage. My wife was busy till 1 with the kids. I was home by 3. We celebrated Saturday night. Had a nice dinner last night, but I was thinking about my anniversary. On my first anniversary, I was still over the road for New Century. I was regional, you know, once in a while I get home during the week at night, but it was mostly, you know, Monday through Saturday morning. But I had a plan to be home for my anniversary in the middle of the week for dinner. We made reservations at a fancy restaurant in Cambridge called Salt's. I don't know if it's still around. And I was doing LTL that day. Just came out of Jersey. I think I had 8 drops that day. I was at my last drop in Canton. And it's a really tight loading dock, and when you finally get in the door, your tractor's almost at a 90-degree angle. So I go to back in, Now normally when I would back into a door, I like to back in all the way with my doors closed, roll forward, 6 feet, open the doors and back straight in. This one you couldn't, because you were coming in at an angle. You had to open the doors before you got all the way in. And somehow, driver error, obviously, the passenger side door became unlatched. And I couldn't see it in my mirrors because I was at an angle. The door came unlatched and it started to close. So it was parallel with the trailer. And as I bumped the loading dock, I knocked the door off. I've seen it done. I've seen it on video. Didn't think it had happened to me, but it happened to me. But it didn't drop to the ground. It broke off and it went inside the trailer. So I felt it. I got out. Customers are getting ready to go home. I got to make my delivery. I got to get home for my anniversary dinner. And so I finished backing into the loading dock. Oh, no, wait. That's not what happened. I remember now. So when the door fell off, I was about this far from the loading dock when I stopped. And I felt that. I get out, I checked it. I'm really flustered, mad at myself, annoyed. How did that happen? How did it get unlatched? And they had lifted the overhead door inside the warehouse. And I'm walking off the trailer to go in the warehouse, but I was so out of my mind. That's why you gotta stay calm. I didn't realize I was this far from the loading dock, and I went right down in between the trailer and almost impaled myself on those door locks, those ICC bar hooks. I fell right to the right and I busted up 4 ribs and dusted myself off, backed in the rest of the way, unloaded the last stop, hauled tail back home. It's only like 20 minutes from home. My wife was like, we don't need to go out tonight. And I'm like, no, we made reservations our first anniversary. And I made it. And went back to work the next day, head back down to Jersey. But that's the second time I fell off a trailer in my life. The other time, I was on the road with my dad. It was my first trip on the road. I know I'd been in trucks before, the local trucks, the white 9000, but we were over the road, Zayas load, 4 drops, Elyria, Ohio, North Olmsted, Ohio, by Cleveland, Gary, Indiana, and Hammond, Indiana. And Zayas stops, Zayas stores, they put the rollers in the truck, and once again, it was like this far from the loading dock, and I'm helping my dad unload. Everything's on the floor. You're throwing boxes down the rollers. There are people inside the store receiving the boxes. And I know I've told you this before. My dad's kind of a bully, He loved nothing better than to load up that roller, and if they started getting slow bringing the boxes in, he'd just stop pushing until they started yelling, and boxes would stop falling off the side onto the ground, and he would laugh and wink at me. And anyways, he tells me to go to the edge of the trailer, and a box had gotten stuck. Yeah, go push that box. And then I pushed the box, and I stepped back, forgetting there was a space, and I went right down between the trailers, except I caught myself, the loading dock and the trailer, and I'm 10, and I'm dangling, my feet are dangling, and I knocked the wind out of myself. And I always remember that. That was a memorable moment in my early life. My dad never forgot that one either. But luckily I caught myself, and I could have got really banged up. And I just knocked the wind out of myself. I didn't break anything, thank God. But yeah, you gotta be careful. You gotta be paying attention. Don't worry, drivers. I do know how to yield, even on a short ramp. I gotta tell you, it's an art. It's an art because it's a lost art, yielding. People just fly by the seat of their pants when they're getting on the highway. Throw caution to the wind. I'm coming out, everybody scatter. Winding it down for the day. How about you?
This is it for me, buddy. I'm all done.
I got a good ride so far heading that way. We'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, pal. Thanks.
So, back in the day, we used to have comedy albums. I used to look forward to buying them at a truck stop or a record store. Like sometimes I would, before I would leave on a trip, I'd go to the record store. It was Side One. It's called Side One in Brockton, Mass. Right next to Fernandes Market. I'd go in there and I'd load up on cassettes, music and comedy albums. Talking back, you know, late 80s, early 90s. Andrew Dice Clay, Sam Kinison, Bill Cosby, before we knew about Bill Cosby. Even though he was talking about it in the albums, I mean, you know, the whole Spanish Fly thing was him talking about drugging girls and taking advantage of them. Unbelievable. He was admitting to his guilt. Who else? Howie Mandel. Gene Tracy tapes. He was like the truck stop comedian. You know, Gene Tracy was amazing. And I'd have all his cassettes. Dice Clay would come out with a new one, and my mind's kind of going blank here as usual. But you buy some cassettes and you go out on a trip, and it was all fresh and new. It would keep you going for a few days. Later on, I get Dennis Leary. That was a good one. Oh my God, Dennis Leary was a brilliant comedian. His best joke was, Lou Gehrig died of Lou Gehrig's disease. How do you not see that coming? That's a good one. But yeah, I miss those days of buying cassettes, and they were like, I don't know, $7-8 for a brand new cassette, and you listen to them over and over again because that's all you really had. I had a lot of cassettes. I had a nice collection. I had one of those cases. You could open it on either side. You push the button, lift it up, and you had, I don't know, 40 cassettes. Close it, flip it over, make sure it's locked. Flip it over, open up the other side, another, I don't know, 30 or 40 cassettes. And you just listen to that all day. We weren't listening to podcasts. Some people listening to YouTube going down the road. That's not okay. Unless you're listening to my channel, then you get a pass. It was either that or AM/FM radio, which was lacking. If you were trucking across country, you lose the station every, 10-15 minutes. Listen to the AM radio, but yeah, I miss those days, having your own music. I was never much into having CDs in the truck. By the time the CDs came out, radio was getting a little better. And then once we got XM radio, it was done with regular radio. Now we get satellite. And now I don't even own XM radio anymore. Now I have the XM app and Bluetooth right into my truck stereo, my car stereo, and I can listen to all my apps right on the stereo. You know, I mean, I'm still using this. I'm still using this XM FM adapter. I take it with me whenever I go in another truck. I mean, I'm still technically challenged. I'm sure I could put it in this radio. This is a high-tech radio, I guess, but I'm still using my adapter, which is great. When I go plow snow and I jump into Little Kenworth, take that with me, and boom, I get all my music, my Spotify, my Pandora, my Pocket Cast, podcasts, true crime. I listen to a lot of true crime. My news stations. I don't listen to much news anymore. But yeah, some people don't listen to anything when they're driving. You know, I always remember. It's always stuck with me. Jeremy Gouge from IMT. I was riding with him in his A model in Minnesota. I said, "What do you listen to when you're going down the road?" He goes, "The sound of the engine. Is there any better sound than that?" Yeah, you got a point there, buddy. So that's my take on music. I don't have any. I don't really have many cassettes anymore. I got a few. And then there were the cassettes that were all different artists. I forget what you call those, but it was like all different artists, different songs. Sometimes there were songs you didn't know, so you learned some new songs, and those were usually like 70s albums. Yeah, I like music. That's right into the low gear, right there. Right into the low, the high side here. My little secret gear. That's my favorite. We're almost done for the day here. It's 2:30. Fuel, park, do a fuel dump. Preload for tomorrow, park. Should be done by 3:30. Go to the gym at 4, home at 5. I gotta post my Big Apple Farm truck video tonight. It's ready to download, but I still have to create the cover, the description of the video, the search engine optimization. I'm gonna do that. It takes a lot of time to make videos. It's very time consuming. But it's worth it. This video is gonna be a good one. I hope people get through it. It's kind of long. It's like an hour and a half. But I think it's good all the way through. I mean, I make videos that I want to watch. I say it again and again. If I had the time, I would watch it all. That's right into the low gear, right there. Right into the low, the high side here. My little secret gear. It's my favorite. It is 6 o'clock. Today I'm wearing my New Age Outlaw trucking hat I got from Dan O'Hare out of Minnesota. Everything in its place, almost. Get my my one bad thing, whatever. My baby. Let's roll. No need to close your door. Fun merge I go through every morning. Why am I in the right lane? Because I gotta get off in a mile. let this guy in. Everybody lets one in, right? All right, there's my one. There's my one. Wow. There's two. There's a third guy. All right, story time. During the Big Apple Farm, when the trucks were rolling in, I said, hey, you see that red Freightliner, Garrick Carriers? That's Jim Metcalf driving that truck. Jim and I used to drive for New Century together. I said, I'd tell you that story sometime. So here it is. So I'm driving for New Century. I started there in 2000. The first truck they gave me was a Volvo 770 double bunk. It had the table that came down as a, the bed came down as a, you turn it into a table. It was nice. Nice truck. Had an automatic, by the way, with a clutch, a working clutch. I didn't even care, to be honest. They were paying me such good money, and it was a nice truck that I didn't even care, which is not like me now. I would definitely care now. I just took it. It wasn't even like, I wasn't going there to drive a large car. I was going there to work for a top-notch outfit and have a good job. So anyways, the first year at New Century, I was home almost every night. I was living in Brighton, Massachusetts, which is right outside of Boston. It's a suburb of Boston. Me and my girlfriend, which is now my wife, and I would park my truck at the IHOP on Soldiers Field Road in Brighton, and I would walk 2 blocks home. I'd walk under the Mass Turnpike, first street on the right, Riverview Ave. That's where we were living. We were renting at the time. And I would do 2 trips a day. I would take an empty up to Owens Brockway in Nashua, New Hampshire, pick up a loaded trailer, take that down to Stamford, Connecticut, grab an empty, go back to Owens Brockway, go back down to Stamford. I would either go back up to Nashua, or I would go home and go to Nashua in the morning. It was a long day. It was 12-hour days, 12, 13-hour days. And in between, some days I would run down to Jersey and bring an LTL load back up to New England and peddle that. Just depended, but I did Owens Brockway a lot the first year. In a big bunk. I mean, I didn't even need a bunk. You know, I didn't need a big bunk for sure. And yeah, about a year and a half later, they put us in small bunks, those napper sleepers, Freightliner, Columbias, all the trucks, you know, ran big power. Anyways, so I've been there about a year. My dispatcher, Kevin O'Brien, great guy, great dispatcher, took good care of me. He, you know, if you took good care of Kevin, he took good care of you. If you're on his shit list, then, you know, you might be running Long Island next day working local. Hey, that's how you got to take care of the dispatchers. You know, they got a job to do, and we're there to fill that job, you know. So I was just one of those guys that never said no, and I always got it done. So I was always in good standing with dispatch no matter where I worked. And so I've been there a year. Kevin's on vacation. Jeff Muleschlegel, which is the owner's son, has dispatched me for the week. And I get dispatched down to come down to Jersey. So I run down to Jersey. Typical night at New Century was, you know, you sleep a few hours and get up and go. You get to Jersey like 12 o'clock in the morning, drop your loaded trailer in a door, detach, go to sleep, and they'd wake you at 1, 2 in the morning with a load going back north usually. sometimes you didn't go north. Sometimes you had to go south or you had to go west. But us New England guys usually went north because we were like experts at running New England. And 1 o'clock in the morning, I get my load. I get an 18 stop load in Connecticut. Meanwhile, I'm starting to get sick. Like really sick. By the time I get into Connecticut, I am sweating, I'm sneezing, I'm coughing, sore throat, and I get 18 stops to get off, and it's a 2-day load. It's like 10 one day, 8 the next. Well, I'm so sick in my head that I said to myself, if I can get all 18 stops off today, I can go home. I'm dying out here. And so I did let Jeff know that I was sick, like really, really sick. Like I don't get sick very often. I'm like really sick. And he doesn't really know me from a hole in the wall, you know? And I get all 18 stops off one day. Like 4 o'clock, and they were close, you know, it was dropping between Stamford and New Haven, basically up the 95 corridor. It wasn't all over the place. And by the way, we're running road tractors and 53-foot trailers. We're not driving these little day cabs with the jitterbug pup trailers. We got some big trucks, you know, and that's how we did it. And I get the 18 stops off 4 o'clock. I call Jeff. Yeah, Jeff, I was able to get all the stops off. I'm ready to go home. And he goes, oh man, I really need you. You're the only guy. When you hear that, you just know you're about to get it right up the you know what. You're the only guy. I need you to go up to Canaan, Connecticut, which is the northwest corner of Connecticut, and pick up a load. And it's got to be in Roselle Park, New Jersey, first thing in the morning, which was one of our big customers. And I couldn't believe it. I'm like, dude, I am really sick. I'm like really, really sick. He goes, you're the only guy. I'll get you home from there. What are you gonna do, right? I should have said no and put my foot down, but I didn't because I'm a company guy. And the problem with being a truck driver is we usually put our jobs ahead of our health. I went up to Canaan, I think it's Canaan, Connecticut, which is no easy task to get to, especially at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I think I got there at 6 or 7. I get out of there around 9 o'clock at night. We started heading south, and I'm just feeling bad. Like I don't know how I can go on. So I made the decision. I took it upon myself to go south, but I stopped. We had a yard in Orange, Connecticut, and I said, you know what? I'm going to Orange, and I'm going to bed. I got to get some sleep. I went to Orange, and I set my alarm for a couple hours. I had called dispatch. I'm like, hey, I'm in Orange. Is there any way somebody can repower this load? And, you know, somebody who's coming north, I'll grab their load. Somebody going south, take my load. You know, something. They're like, no, you got to deliver it. Jeff said you got to deliver it. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not going. I'm not doing it. I'm pretty sure I got pneumonia. I'm not going to New Jersey. I won't get home for another minimum 24 to 36 hours. We're gonna have to bring a load going north, deliver that. I'm like, nope, not going. That's it. So Jeff says, all right, well, you're gonna need to talk to Jim Lewis, the safety guy. Now, Jim Lewis was a no-nonsense kind of guy. He was friendly. I know he liked me. He made me nervous. He was just a no-nonsense kind of guy. It was kind of like going to the principal's office. You just sat there and waited to hear it, you know. And I tell Jim what happened. He goes, well, why don't you just leave the truck in Connecticut and take a bus and go home? And then call us back when you're feeling better. I'm like, Jim, why don't I take my empty, why don't I take an empty from the yard here, I'll take it to Owens Brockway in Nashua. They always needed empties, and which is an hour past my home, and I'll bobtail home and take a day or two off, and I'll come back. Because no, you're too sick to drive, take a bus home. That's what they said to me. I'm there a year, never late, never said no, model driver. Jim Metcalf pulls in the orange terminal to switch trailers, and he's going north, by the way. So they had something going north. And I tell Jim what's going on. Jim goes, hop in my truck. I go, Jim, I'm really, really sick. This is before we all knew about germs, but he's like, Jim, I don't want to get you sick. Like, don't worry about it. Get in my truck. I'll give you a ride. And he gave me a ride. He dropped me off at the truck stop in Leominster, Mass. My wife picked me up. I went home for a couple days. Never told New Century how I got home. They probably would have been pissed at Jim for giving me a ride home. I bet they would have been pissed. We talked about that. We said we wouldn't talk about that. I mean, it's been 20-something years. And then when I was ready to go back to work, Jim gave me a ride back down. And that always stuck in my gut, New Century, and how you're only as good as your last load, no matter where you work. And the thing about Jim is, while I was driving for New Century, Jim was looking to get off the road. I got offered a job driving for Nalco Chemicals, a good job, a high six figures job, driving a 10-wheel straight truck around New England, delivering drums of chemicals. But you had to physically manhandle these drums off the truck into basements. You had to put on hazmat suits and feed these chemicals into boilers and like colleges and stuff. And number one, I didn't want to drive a straight truck. But number two, I physically couldn't do a job like that. I mean, I manhandled drums plenty and New Century, rolling them off to the tailgate on a trailer, but that was about as far as it went. I told Jim about the job because it was right near where he lives. He took the job. He was there, I think he was there 20 years. And yeah, that's my story. I'm backing in here. I gotta dump my load of gravel, but hopefully you enjoyed that story. What happens in the 9 o'clock round. I gotta get on, they're getting off, everybody double piles through here. Kinda gotta force your way out a little bit. The guy on my left doesn't want to let me out. So you gotta do one of them deals and assert your dominance.
Nice video on the Big Apple show.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
It's always good to see you keeping the old trucks going, and that was awesome what you did to McLeod there too. Thank you.
Oh man, thank you. It means a lot. Thank you very much. Have a good day there.
You too, bud. Be safe.
Yep, well, you too. Good morning. How's everybody doing today? Hope we're ready for a big, exciting day of trucking. Oh yeah. We're always ready for trucking, aren't we? 35 degrees out this morning. High of 49. Thursday's gonna be a washout. That's tomorrow. Well, I wish I had a sleeper. Got some more room in here. Little day cabs. All right. I think we're ready to go. Alrighty. What hat am I wearing today? Oh, got my cinch hat. I bought this in California. Can't remember where. Where was that in California? I'm gonna look it up. Oh, I bought my hat in Paso Robles, California. Now I remember. There was a Western store there. I needed a hat. All right, we're getting ready to roll out of here. Let's do this. Morning, Tommy.
Hey, how you doing this morning?
We're doing all right, buddy. We left plenty of dirt there for you.
Oh, gee, thanks.
Oh, here comes Teddy. How we doing, Teddy?
Good. He tried to say he didn't want me to go out again. I told him I was.
Yeah, I mean the yard's full, wasn't it?
Yeah, I got a load of loom on. We'll get rid of that for the morning.
Oh, that's good. I'll give some space anyways. I'll see you in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh, here comes Teddy. How we doing, Teddy?
Good. He tried to say he didn't want me to go out again. I told him I was.
Yeah, I mean the yard's full, wasn't it?
Yeah, I got a load of loom on. We'll get rid of that for the morning.
Oh, that's good. I'll give some space anyways. Having fun yet?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
But these yellow lenses, they're like flip tops. Driving at night, the lights are blinding me as I get older. All the lights, I can't see at night anymore. I got these yellow lenses. I don't know what brand they are. There's a million different brands. Blue Cut. I got 2 pairs for 20 bucks. I'm gonna keep one in my truck, one in my car. Boy, game changer. Game changer driving in the dark. It's almost like having x-ray vision. You can see really clearly at night. And now it's raining. It's in between regular glasses and sunglasses. Sunglasses are too dark though. right now I'm keeping them on. Kind of like it. I know they don't look too cool, but I don't feel too cool either. But they definitely are doing the job. And how can you go wrong for 20 bucks? You can't. Did you see those videos? They're in my shorts section. My video shorts. Where I made the overdrive cover girls come to life. It's like a day away from Halloween. I'm like Dr. Frankenstein. Oh my God, it's awesome. Go check those out. There's more coming. I just got on this AI kick. I think I'm gonna get addicted to it now. Kicking my tires like I do multiple times a day, and found a low trailer tire after I got loaded, of course. Got a bolt in the tread, a big bolt. I don't know where I picked that up. Look, they're milling here. I guess Dave's gonna take a look at it. Right there, there's a big bolt there. I was just here kicking tires, and I did one of these. And I go, oh, got losing some air there. Here's a 308 under repair. I think I gotta move that to the pit probably tomorrow or Saturday. Wow, that was close. I seen him coming. I thought they're usually all the way over there. And I was like, he's not gonna come on this one, is he? I'm like, oh, I'm getting a little freaking close here. Sacrifices I do for video is crazy. So that was the bolts. We put 2 plugs in it already and it's not holding. They're allowed 3. All right.
All right, let's dump this sand back at the pit.
Okay.
Let Mike know. Dump the sand back. It won't be an issue. Dump that sand back at the pit. Let's get you back to Waltham.
Okay.
Happy millennial.
Hi, my name is Jerry. You want to be my friend? Pumped out that load of sand. Gonna head back to the yard empty and get a new tire. Did I ever tell you about the time? So my first year here, I went through 6 tires. The first year. See, when they bought the gravel pit, I just started working here, and it was all woods. We would back in off this Taylor Street into a path that was about as wide as a truck, and they would just keep taking down trees. We'd go further back, and it was also swampland, and we'd be filling that in. But what we were filling it in with was like riprap and kind of the stuff we're hauling now. It's a lot of stuff in it, you know? Sometimes it's bolts and metal and who knows what. And so they would pack it down, but we'd still be driving over it. And in 6 years I went through, and 1 year I went through 6 tires. So Mike Cardillo, he pulls me aside and he's like, listen, you either got really bad luck or I don't know what. I go, he goes, but tires are really expensive. I go, yeah, I know. It's nothing I'm doing, you know, just driving over, you know, some nasty stuff. So after we had that talk, it was many years till I went through another tire. And he'd always go, see, because we had that talk. I go, no, nothing to do with it. I didn't do one thing different. Just luck, just bad luck over a year. And, you know, as the years went on, the pit, what we drove over was much better to drive over. It was less impurities. They paved half of it, you know? That's all that was. But when I saw Mike a few minutes ago, I showed him the bolt. I go, do we need to have that talk again? He laughed. Because I've had pretty good luck with tires since that first year. I mean, I can't remember the last time I've had a tire issue. Well over a year ago. Maybe 2 years at least. I don't think I've had any issues. I mean, my trailer's 3 years old. My tractor's new. Got lucky. I haven't driven over any bolts, but that was a big bolt. And our other driver in the 800, he had I heard a bolt this week that was even bigger. I don't know where we're getting them from, but it's definitely happening at the pit. It's not in our materials yard, and it's probably not on the road, but who knows? At least I was kind of thinking I got lucky because it was in the tread. Of course, it's an inside tire, which means you got to take the outside tire off now to replace it. But it's trucking. Trucking's expensive. You know how to make $1 million in trucking, don't you? Start with $2 million. You'll be a single millionaire within a few years. All right, we're eastbound and down, heading empty. Well, Mike was going to change the tire and replace it, but the tire was too good a shape, so put a nice patch on it. Almost done. Sign off. I think I got the flu. It's 3 o'clock. I'm going home. Not washing the truck. For me to go home and not wash the truck after it's been raining for 2 days, I must be really sick. Maybe I'll come in Sunday. Wash for Monday. Hey, peace and grace. Hit that subscribe button. Hell of a week. I'm still supposed to work Saturday. I don't know if that's going to happen or they can find somebody else. The yard's in good shape. I'm sure Teddy will want to work if there's work available. See what happens. Going in the yard. Gonna park her and